Good evening, delicious morsel, and thank you for tuning in to Fright Night Radio. We love to bring you stories of fright every Friday night. Stories that are creepy, suspenseful, and most of all, frightful. So pop your popcorn, dim the lights, and prepare for another Fright Night Radio.
Symbiosis. Por favor, señor, do not be angry. He only takes a little blood, Yolanda said at breakfast. A mere sip he drinks, and in return he leaves behind something good in your blood. I had to admit, besides a touch of neck pain and a ravenous appetite, I felt quite fit. At least physically, but still, you could have told me before. Yolanda took a sip of her coffee. A look passed between she and her husband.
To tell you the truth, we don't think he'd drink from you,
said Juan. See, it usually takes a while for him to accept someone. It's actually quite an honor. Oh, and speaking of El Diablo... Suddenly, Petardo was at my feet, then bounding into my lap where he promptly curled into a ball. He was a big, heavy cat with soft pewter hair. I scratched him between the ears, and his purrs took on a musical lilt while his tail whipped about. Oh, look at him, Juan! His eyes are so clear.
His fur has grown back. You must have good blood, senor.
My type is rare. The rarest, actually.
Well, it certainly seems to agree with our little 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐿 de la Corazon. He's been sick for such a long time. But now he looks much better.
Cat of the heart? Yolanda's eyes welled with tears as she smiled down at Petardo. See, once this little ball of fur drinks of your blood, he has your heart. I looked over at Juan. He stoically forbade his tears, but, well, I could tell he felt the same about their pet vamcat.
We thought we were going to lose our little 𝐥𝐤𝐤, but your blood has restored him. We thank you.
Petardo seemed the picture of contentment, and didn't object in the least when I pulled back his upper lip to examine the long, pointed incisors. I reached up to my neck to feel for the incisions.
The marks all but disappear by morning.
I barely woke up.
Petardo does this thing, how you say it, hypnosis, just so he doesn't hurt you. I hope you're not mad.
Petardo would never hurt you. Never. Actually, I felt too invigorated to be mad. Was that due to that something good Petardo had left in my blood? Or to being out of the hospital and in the fresh mountain air? Probably a little of both, but it didn't matter. It's all bueno, really. And I'm ready to hit the trails again.
If you want, we could take you to where we found our little 𝐥𝐤𝐤.
It's an old cave where men used to do work.
Mine shaft.
See, a mine shaft. But the men, they left it a long time ago. Now the vamcats have it.
It's a good hike, though.
I think I'm up to it. Ah, Petardo isn't the only one feeling better today. We set right out into the Sierra de las Botellas. It felt like the trail went up and up forever through the pine forests, but it was well worth the climb. After reaching a plateau, we were blessed with the mystical experience of hiking through the clouds. We didn't reach the mine shaft until late afternoon. I don't see any vamcats.
They hide very well.
Wait, what's that? Something's watching us.
Just a monkey. They're everywhere.
Despite the something good Petardo had put in my blood, I still wasn't fully recovered. By the time we had a late lunch by La Casada de la Mina, I was exhausted. I had once been fit and strong, but losing everything I loved in a fucking fire had sapped my body and spirit, leaving me about as vigorous as a scarecrow. I was treated for burns and smoke inhalation, then went right from a hospital bed to the mountains of Honduras against my doctor's orders. "You can barely make it up a flight of stairs," she said. "Give yourself some time." But all I wanted to do was disappear from the world. After 3 days of backpacking, I was a wreck. I stopped in 𝐥𝐤𝐵𝐿 for supplies, and that's where Juan and Yolanda found me, slumped on a bench and looking like a hobo.
Amigo, you need a ride somewhere?
No, I don't really belong anywhere. What brings you to Honduras, senor? Trying to forget. Just trying very hard to forget. My Spanish is fair, and their English is better than my Spanish, so we communicated pretty well. The next thing I knew, I was rolling up my sleeves and showing them the burn scars on my arms.
Senor, what happened?
A fire. Your home? Yes. I thought I had the world by the tail. A beautiful wife, an amazing little boy. He was so smart and so full of energy. We had a few problems, but then who doesn't? All in all, we had a good thing going. Then, one night, something went wrong with our furnace. By the time I woke up, it was too late. I tried to save them. Tried so hard, but
Dios mío.
Now, I guess I'm just trying to lose myself, too. There's nothing to go back to. I wasn't looking for sympathy. I just needed to tell someone. What were their names? Your wife and boy, senor? Maggie and David, I said. And it was the first time since the fire I had spoken their names aloud. David was just 6 years old. Yolanda grabbed me in a big hug, and Juan insisted I stay at their place. I was too weak and too tired to argue. At their casa, Yolanda ushered me right to the guest room. "Rest," she ordered. "You'll need it." Then a large gray cat came limping, almost crawling into the room. "Ah, you like gatos? Perhaps Petardo here will keep you company. Buenas noches." After she stepped out, I flipped open my tattered Spanish-English dictionary to look up petardo. It means firecracker, but Petardo didn't seem to have much powder left in him. The poor cat must have burned out, I mused. Well, you and me both, pal. Petardo hoisted himself to my chest and swiped one paw past my face, as if batting a mouse. My eyelids shut hard, as if pulled down by weights. Drifting into dreamland, I heard David laughing. And Maggie calling to me. "Hello? Honey, where are you?" Even though I hadn't seen any vamcats in the mine shaft, the hiking trip had been a fun adventure with my new friends. We didn't get back until dark. After a hasty supper, I fell right into bed. Petardo jumped up and nudged my hand until I petted him. The last thing I remember before falling asleep was his paw waving in front of my face. As I stepped into the kitchen the next morning, Yolanda asked, "Do you sleep well?" "Si, but I dreamt a lot."
Bad dreams?
No. In fact, for the first time since the fire, I didn't have any nightmares. I dreamt about Maggie and David. They were alive, and we were hiking, and it was so real. Ah, see, vamcat dreams. Again, I was ravenous at breakfast. I scarfed down eggs, toast, pancakes, and everything else within reach. I felt only a little sore from all the hiking. Petardo was merrily chasing a lizard through the casa from the kitchen to the living room, back and forth, back and forth.
Look at him go! Our little Petardo has come back to life, and he seems to have really taken a liking to you.
I'm starting to come back to life too.
That's because of Petardo. Vamcats are very good for humans.
Are there any bad side effects of a vamcat bite?
No, it's all good. Here, have some more pancakes.
I dug into a fresh stack without objection. How can it be all good?
The better it is for you, the better for our little gato. Now, eat.
So, it was a symbiotic relationship. The cat and I both got a little something. The longer the vamcat's host was alive and well, the longer he got sustenance. In return, his host enjoyed renewed vigor. I attacked several sausages and dug into a plate of hash browns. I felt starved and yet also strong. My legs were as restless as racehorses at the starting gate.
That was quite a hike yesterday. Hope we didn't wear you out too much.
Not at all. I'm ready to go again.
Very good, amigo. But I'm afraid you're on your own today. We both have to work. Don't get lost out there now.
I could hardly imagine losing my way. I've always had a poor sense of direction, but now could clearly visualize every turn and every trail of yesterday's jaunt. Another effect of the vamcat bite? It made sense. If I didn't return from the mountains, there would be less nourishment for Petardo, and I seemed to be a relatively healthy source for him. Therefore, it would be advantageous that the chemical, enzyme or whatever he deposited in my blood would sharpen my memory along with my navigational ability. Hiking into the mountains that day, I thought about how medical science could benefit from synthesizing the vampirecat enzyme. I dashed and bounded along the trails, sometimes startling the occasional white-faced monkey. I was strong, fast, and agile, and to think I had been out of the hospital a mere week. I stopped at one point to watch some blue morphos and enjoy a panoramic view. Maggie would have liked the butterflies, and wouldn't David have just loved the white-faced monkeys? Since I was alone, I let the tears flow. Then I noticed something wrong with my right arm. No, not wrong, but just the opposite. The burn scars had disappeared. That evening at supper, I told my hosts I'd be leaving. As soon as the words were out of my mouth, Petardo jumped up and yowled. We all looked at the cat in shock, and then Yolanda said,
I don't think he wants you to leave.
And neither do we, Juan added. I appreciate your hospitality, but really I should get back home, try to rebuild my life.
What life you got to rebuild? What you got to go home to?
I'm trying not to think that far ahead.
What will become of our gato de la corazon? It's your blood that he needs, por favor. He was so sick before you came.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I'd take the little guy with me, but I'm pretty sure there's no way to smuggle a vamcat into the U.S.
Vete al demonio!
Maybe it would be best if I grab my pack and get on out of here now. I can't exactly stay here forever.
Stay one more night. Por favor. One more night.
I stayed. As usual, Petardo's paw waving in front of my face was the last thing I saw before slipping into a deep sleep. Setting out with the pack snug on my back, I flew along the trails. Each stride lengthened until I was bounding 10, 15, 20 feet and more at a time. I sailed over a ridge without fear, landing cat-like far below. I came to the vamcat lair, the abandoned mine shaft, and dashed inside. I called out, "Hello!" An echo came back, but it was not my voice.
Hello!
Not my voice at all. David?
Here, Daddy.
Then another voice called to me.
Hello?
and I followed exultant. Maggie? Is it really you?
Of course, silly. I'm right here.
Again, Maggie called my name.
Steven?
My heart sang. She stepped out of the darkness into the light. We were never away from you. We're always with you. Nothing could ever keep us apart. Suddenly, I wasn't crouching in a mine shaft, but flat on my back in Juan and Yolanda's guest room. I could hear them arguing in the family room.
It is no right. He's with the people he loves now. There is nothing for him to go home to. Let him be happy. And besides, we have our petardo back. It just isn't right.
I started to stir, and suddenly Petardo was by my side. Send me back, mi amigo. Petardo meowed softly and jumped onto my chest. He waved one paw in front of my face, and then I was back with Maggie and David.
Daddy, let's go! I want to see the monkeys!
Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode of Fright Night Radio. If you enjoyed our story, please give us a thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe to our channel so you enjoy a frightful new tale every Friday night. Pleasant dreams.